Right, hi everyone. You join me here at the lovely Floatfish Cat Farm just outside of Peterborough today. We've just had the big freeze. Literally 2 days ago the lake was iced up, so fishing was always going to be a bit tricky, but it's been a lot better than expected. And I'm just going to give you a little run through on some winter pellet fishing today. It's always my starting method on most venues, in all honesty. It's just good for a quick bite or two. I'm just going to show you how we fish it and where in the peg I would start, and just run through a few little tips, help it make it easy for you. First of all, we'll look at some rigs. Dead simple. They're a little bit of overkill in all honesty, always when I fish soft pellets, and I'll explain why. Start at the elastic. It's just a 10 to 12 matrix slick through a short kit. Main line is 0.16. I don't see any reason to go any lighter even in the middle of winter. Hook length is 6 inches of 0.12, and that's down to a size 16 matrix MXC1. Just a nice lightweight medium gauge at most hook. Just buries a nice 4mm expander in it easy. Float wise, this is where, like I say, it goes a bit overkill. It's a 4.16 we're only fishing in 4.5 foot wire stem, which is really important. We're not laying it through the water, we're following it down so it's nice and stable. I've got a big bulk of there's 8 number 8s there, 10 inches from the hook, and then I've actually got a number 9 on my hook length about 3 inches from the hook, and I'm just going to lower it down. It keeps everything dead tight. You'll find with expanders, especially in the winter when they're really finicky bites, they're just the tiniest little sucks at them, and that's just going to magnify it all for me and let me know what's going on in the swim. Don't want to be missing bites. There's a potential they could be picking it up and spitting it out without me even seeing it, so the big shot close to me hook is going to try and avoid that. It's really simple. The last thing here is a cup, the smallest size matrix toss pot. We're putting in very little bait. Now moving on to the bait, again dead simple. Got some 4mm spotted fin F1 expanders. I just put them in a bag with some water the night before, let them soak it up. I don't pump them, there's no need to, they'll sink with the weight of the hook in. And for feed, it's just a match in the 2mm spotted fin F1 micros, the 2mm. Just putting them in a cup, feeding very little bait in. Pellets are really, if there's a fish there, they home in on it. It's what they're used to in fish farms, it's what they're raised on. They know the noise of a pellet is bait, so which plays perfectly for winter. We have to feed very little and we can get a bite. It's all going to be about moving around and following them around. So we'll just get fishing now. I'll just show you how we put the rig in and hopefully catch a few fish. Right, so we're all ready to start fishing. I'm simply going to fill my pot with micros. There's probably 30 micros, and that'll be more than one feed. I'll get 2 or 3 feeds out of that. That's how little we do need to feed, not a lot at all. Now I'm going to start, where I'm starting today is about 11 metres. It's the deepest, just at the bottom of the far shelf. The lake's here 16 metres wide, and it comes up quite quickly after that, but it's about 4.5, 5 foot deep there. And why I'm starting there, it's been freezing cold. That's going to be the warmest part of the lake, the deepest part. I could do it short, but the water's really clear as well, and the fish are going to want to be as far away from me as they possibly can, and so that is the furthest I can get away from me in the deep water. Straight in front of me, I'm going to start. I've got a marker over there, and what you'll find as you've caught a few, it's clear, the fish see another fish getting hooked, spooks them a little bit, and they're either going to move left or right, so it's going to be then about following them either left or right. Just replumbing, finding the same depth at the bottom of the shelf, adding a section of pole and just chasing them around. Good little tip for that is, I'll talk more about it again when we're fishing, but when you hook a fish, see which way it swims off. If it goes to the left, and you'll find if you get one, they'll all go the same way. They're going back towards the main shoal, and that's where the fish are backing off to, so that's the way I would go next. Good little tip for you there. Right, I'm going to start fishing. Nice little 4mm expander on the hook, like I said. Be nice and smooth, no rush. We're not fishing for hundreds of pounds. Make sure you don't spill your pellets out. Got up to my marker on my join, got up to my marker across. Not putting my rig in yet, just tapping sort of 10 pellets in, holding it over them, and then with that big heavy rig I can lay it straight down with the micros as they're falling. There we go, that's just settled up now. and they are quite an instant bait, so we shouldn't hopefully be waiting long. We have already been fishing for a little bit. The fish has been surprisingly good considering the conditions we've had. And with that big heavy dropper, I should see every little movement that comes on the float. Don't want to strike too hard because you've only got soft bait on. You'll be forever coming back and putting new bait on. It's just a little tiny lift. If we've not had a bite within a couple of minutes, it's just repeating the process, tapping a couple more pellets in and lowering it back down. There we go, bite straight away. Look, what's important now, just tap your remaining pellets out so you don't spill them. And shit back, nice soft elastic doing all the work. Not a massive fish, I don't think. Move my landing net for the camera, wait a minute. And there we go. Nice little match size carp, a couple of pound. Really is as simple as that, lovely fish. Just pop him in the net and repeat the process. And until I stop getting bites on that line, I won't need to do anything else. I'm not killing the peg, I'm hardly putting any bait in. So just repeating the process. Again, just being dead accurate, lining up with your marker. Next to no bait. And lowering the rig into it. Conditions do have to be right for fishing pellets, soft pellets like this. Too windy and you start drifting away. Well, you can't hold the bait steady with it being so light. In windier conditions, baits like maggots and things, we can lay some line on the bottom are better, but in the right conditions you can't beat micros and expanders for me. You saw how quick that bite was, and I'm sure it won't take long for the next. Famous last words. And there we go, another fish straight away. Look, tap your pellets out. A bit bigger one, this one, I think. No, just one of the little crazy ones. Absolutely amazing fishing considering how cold it was 3 or 4 days ago here. Oh, just took my landing net. Lovely little common, that one. Beautiful fish in these lakes. So same again, let's say I've had 2 fish and I've not fed 30 or 40 pellets on there. Can feed even less. Now there's fish there on that, I'll just put even less in the pot, sort of 20 pellets. I just want to be getting the most out of that swim as I can before they start moving. At the moment it's good, but it can change very quickly. But as you've seen, the response is instant, so I'll soon know when to move because I won't get bites anymore. And you know if you've moved in the right area because you'll get bites again quickly. It's a dead simple way of fishing. It's just about keeping on your toes and watching what's going on. But for the time being, hopefully this will keep going under. There's another indication there straight away, so there's still fish there. Just all about being really, really accurate. I've waited a little bit longer for a bite now, so I'm just going to tap a few more pellets in, just lift the rig out again. Just repeat the process. Just trying to drag another fish in. And there we go. That next feed's just done the job. Look, sat there without a bite. Fed, and I've had a bite nearly instantly. They just need spurring on to going down and taking your bait sometimes. And not a big fish. Great fun on a winter's day. I'd certainly settle for this every week. Another lovely common. So just cutting down the feed even more now. Now the fish are there. I'm just starving them onto the hook almost, but you've got to, as I just showed with that bite, you've got to just keep a little bit falling through to keep them on the hook bait. Otherwise they start coming up or swimming off, making lots of problems. So. Right, so as you've seen, we've had a few fish straight away. Great start, but now bites have tailed off a little bit. We expect this. We're not fishing for huge weights in the middle of winter. They're probably not gone far, which is why I'm gonna just put the plummet on, just move off a couple of metres. I should find the same sort of depth, in all honesty. These lakes are really routinely made these sort of strip and canalised like snake lakes. So hopefully I won't have to move my float about much. You want to be keeping the same rig and not messing around. I'm going to move off to my left. Every fish, as I said earlier, every fish I've hooked has gone that way, which makes me feel that that's the way I want to be heading. And then I can just follow them along as the day goes on. I don't want to move too far to start with. I want to be just like following them along. I don't want to go miles down there and then they spook off into the next angler's peg. So I just want to give myself somewhere to go as the day goes on. So I've just slipped the plummet on. We'll go out now. Still fishing with the same length of pole, literally moving from, I was fishing here and I'm now, you won't see that perhaps on the camera, and I'm now here. It's 3 metres maximum, but that will be enough. It's just in the clear water they back away from like the bit of bait that's on the bottom and where the fish have been getting hooked from. It's the same depth as I hoped. I've got a little marker there. So just get a pellet on, and we went from getting lots, as you saw on the video, we were lots of bites, and then it's just, well, bites have dried up. It's as simple as that. You just waiting for the fish to tell you they're not happy there. Just an odd little liner as they were sort of swimming away from where I'd been. So it's time to move now. It's just repeating the process again. There's nothing typical about it. There we go. We'll start that again. Just laying down through the pellets. No rush to get that pellet to the bottom. You want to be going down with the micros. And there we are. We're fishing again. New spot. And hopefully it doesn't take us long for a bite. There we go, there's an indication already. It's literally been in the water 30 seconds on the new spot, and we're into a fish. Not a very big fish, but we've gone from nothing to a bite within 30 seconds of moving. A little crucian actually, very small little crucian, but he might have been just the first one sat there. We'll go back in. I'm sure it won't take long for another carp. Again, not a lot of bait. The other thing about this way of fishing, It's lovely and cheap. You only need a handful of pellets. It's certainly a bonus for anyone these days, so but you could catch a lot of fish doing this. Another little indication as the float settled already. Oh, and I missed that one. There's me saying this rig doesn't miss bites. Another indication. You sometimes find it just takes a couple of feeds just for the peg to settle down a bit, because you are starting a new swim and the fish are just a bit unsettled by it. Just let them get used to it and then they'll start going down on the bait again. Never panic straight away. Oh, another miss bite. Like I say, the peg just needs to settle down a bit where I've started a new peg. Does sometimes happen. There we are, moving about. Just started another line and into another fish straight away. Just shows you. Keep moving around. There's bites to be had. We'll get this one in. This will be the last one of the days. There we go. I'm just unhooking for us. Right, so there we have it, the last fish of the day. Just moving around. We've had plenty of bites, fed next to nothing, and a great winter day's fishing. I hope this helps you. Get out on the bank and give it a try, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.